Come on in the room. Bucks winning tonight. 113, 110, 103 over the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't know what is going on. So I apologize for all of the for technical difficulty starting this show off slow. And it's just gonna be solo guru tonight. Solo guru tonight because we can't get anybody in the room. I don't understand. Try to get him in, didn't work, but that's all right. We're functioning like we were down 24 in the fourth to the Minnesota Timberwolves, but we are right here. Well, at least I'm right here. Come on in the room. Doc is our doctor, right? He gives us our medicine in our room. We are live. Scream City crossover. Guru Trick Ops the third. 110, 103 Bucks win it. I mean, I don't know. There's only one thing to say. There's only one thing to say tonight. If you don't like that, you don't like Milwaukee Bucks basketball. I don't have much. I really don't. I don't have much. Well, let me say this. I have a lot. Because I'm watching that game as it goes on. We're into the fourth quarter, and the Bucks start the quarter. I believe they started down 20. In the fourth. As you're sitting there and you're trying to figure out, what is this team doing? And I think for a lot of people out there, again, you get back to this point of, oh my God, the team is dead. And if you thought the team was dead, maybe you should stay on that side. Again, I tell you all, I say it all the time. Basketball is a game of runs. People pretend like they've never, ever seen a game of basketball in their lives. That they've never seen a team come back from down. I had people telling me that the Bucks were quiet quitting. That was the narrative that was out there. Get at me on Twitter. Get at me on Twitter at TCIIESQ. Get at me in the chat here as well. But that's what was being said. This was over. It's over. And again, I'm going to try to get to the chat. And y'all got to help me out because I'm by myself tonight. But that's what was being said, was that this thing was over. That people were done. That the Bucks were done. People, I'm telling you, there's no doubt about it. People were 100% ready to jump off the train tonight. They were ready to jump off the train. But I know you weren't. I know everybody else. There's no way, because again, you just got to go. If Marcus Johnson was on the broadcast tonight, he would have said, chop wood, carry water. Bucks are down 20, down 24. Biggest comeback of the year. How about Kevin Porter Jr.? How about that lineup that Doc Rivers went to late in the game to finish this thing out? That was incredible. I mean, there's just so much to talk about when you talk about that run. When you talk about that closing lineup that was out there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was the entire bench. And Brook, and I know it's going to be I'm not going to do it tonight because everybody does it every night. Kuzma. Again, Brook Lopez benched. Kuzma benched. Taurean Prince benched. Ryan Rollins benched. And that's what we were talking about on this program. We've been talking about it for the past few shows, right, where we say that the ceiling for Kevin Porter Jr. is sky high over Ryan Rollins. And I like Ryan Rollins, but it's a different level. Like, Damian Lillard is a hell of I don't know that Dame pulls off what KPJ did tonight. And I said it. I said, I don't think that Damian Lillard is capable of pulling off what KPJ did in the manner in which he did it. That's what I mean when I say that. Not that he's incapable of comebacks and wins. We know Damian Lillard can do it. In the way that Kevin Porter Jr. did it, no. 5 steals, I believe 4 of them came in the fourth quarter. No, sir. That was nothing short of incredible. And again, that lineup was Kevin Porter Jr., AJ Green, Gary Trent Jr., Bobby Portis, and Giannis that closed out this game, that won this basketball game. 110-103. Again, you look at it, I know people talk about the Joker all the time and the plus minus. Giannis was the only starter at a positive plus minus tonight with a plus 26. The rest of the bench was all negatives. And then Bobby is a plus 10, Gary plus 18, Kevin Porter Jr. plus 18, AJ Green plus 22. The comeback was wild. It was an insane comeback. The way it looked, the way it felt on TV, it came across fun. I don't know when. I guess I asked you in the chat. 39-8 run. People talking about. At what point did you guys? At what point did you guys think about that? At what point did you guys think that the comeback was real? Because I made a comment during the game, and I said, Bucks got this fake comeback coming. And I didn't, I was kind of semi joking, not really sure. But I believe the moment was probably that. Was it the what was the score when AJ Green hit the first 3-pointer that was deep, deep, deep. I don't know when that it quacked me 23 says AJ Green deep. The deep three. That was Tish said she was in attendance tonight. That's when I thought, oh, this is serious. I believe we were down like 8 or 9, 10 points when AJ Green hit that three. Again, if you're just joining us, come on in the room. No, again, we are having some technical difficulties. Couldn't get Justin in, couldn't get Chris King in. The guys were ready, able, and willing. Just couldn't figure it out. So we fired this thing up just so we get this thing rolling. Maybe at some point we can we'll record something just to kind of have all three of us talk about this as well tomorrow or something like that if we have some time. But today, come on in and talk to me for a second here, and we'll just get at this thing. I mean, I'm still in shock. When I think about how that went down and all the plays and Kevin Porter Jr., the steals, and Giannis. Let's just do a game recap right here as the Bucks win 110-103. Giannis, another triple-double, 37 minutes. But before I go to the recap, again, and I know the two main scapegoats are Kyle Kuzma and Doc Rivers. I'm going to talk about Kyle Kuzma for a second. I'm going to talk about Doc Rivers. Because we always say Doc Rivers is a doctor gives our medicine, Rice House Christians in the room, right? Here's what I don't like that people are doing with Doc Rivers is we're pretending like he's the worst. It's the same shit you guys did to Jason Kidd. It's the same kind of stuff. Is Doc Rivers the best coach in the world? Absolutely not. No, he's not a top 5 coach. He's not none of that. But is he a guy that can't pick up a clipboard? Absolutely not. So again, we got to get off these two. And I think again, that's one thing. That's life. That's what people do in general. Is we pick sides all the time. We pick a side, and everything's black or white. And it's either he's the worst coach to have ever picked up a clipboard. He shouldn't even have a whistle around his neck. But it's almost like, well, if you say, well, I don't think he's that, then, so are you saying that Doc Rivers is a great? No, nobody's saying, but you can live in the middle. Again, life is so much more gray than it is black and white. Let's live in the gray. Doc Rivers is not and so I say that to say that when we get to these playoffs, you guys, and we've been talking about, we've had this dialogue about lineups and roster and what you do here, what you do there, all of these different things. We've kind of had those conversations and talked about them. When the playoffs come, and I've said this over and over, Doc Rivers will do one thing. And the one thing he will do is go to his horses. He will run his horses. And in that sense, he's actually the opposite of a Mike Budenholzer who wanted to use his depth, and we're so good all regular season, when we're going to play like this players. Doc Rivers will put the blind. He's an old school coach. And if it's one thing I know an old school coach will do, is he will put the blinders on and go with his horses. And he knows his horse is Giannis. And the other thing he knows is his best lineup is Giannis at the 5. That's where this thing, again, we can talk about Kuz, but to me, the biggest difference is Giannis at the 5. That's the big difference. And that is the break glass in case of emergency that Doc Rivers, who smartly has not done it all year. So everybody, again, getting back to it, talking about lineups and who goes here and rotations, and what Doc has not done is go to Giannis at the 5. And again, he's been smart to do it because Giannis has talked about how he doesn't like to play the 5. He doesn't want to be at the 5. It's taxing on his body. He doesn't want to bang and bruises. He doesn't want to do that stuff. Again, if you're at the 5, that's Rudy Gobert you're in there with, right? Not every night, but you get what I'm saying. And in the playoffs, that's what you're going to see. You need to win games, and Giannis absolutely knows it. So in the playoffs, when you need it, you're going Giannis at the 5 multiple times throughout the game. You're not going to get down 20, 25 points because when I sense it, Doc Rivers should be going Giannis at the 5, right? So I just think about that when you think about lineups and who goes where, that you always have the Giannis at the 5 lineup. And you almost can't even think about, well, this is what the Bucks did all regular season. No, they didn't give you their best optimal lineup in the regular season. They didn't do it because Giannis doesn't want to do it. And again, I agree. Yeah, you have to preserve his body. So you wait, and in a game where you need it, at the end of the year, when you're trying to lock down the 5 seed, and the Bucks are right now in prime position to not need. They are getting to the point, if they win against the Pelicans, which they'll beat the Pelicans, when they beat the Pelicans, I believe if Detroit loses to the Knicks, they won't need either one of those. They will have the 5 seed locked up before you get to the last 2 games of the season. You won't even need to play them. You won't even need to play Giannis. You can rest him. You can rest him for the last 2 games. Rest him for the play-in, and he's rested through that time and ready to go round 1. That's what you're getting close to. This is a big win, folks. Best win of the year, no doubt about it. Now let's do a game recap. 23, 13, 10, 1 steal, 1 block, 9 of 15 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, including a big-time 3-pointer in the 4th quarter from Giannis. He was 4 of 11 from the free throw line. Oh, by the way, I know you'll be in the chat telling me, well, he's got to hit free throws. He missed 7 of them tonight. Bucks still won by 7. Yeah, you miss. You know what? You miss. Okay, hey. You missed 7 free throws, but you hit a 3, so that's more like you missed 4. Yeah, if you hit a 3, but that's what he can't take threes. That's a turnover. Boom! I got 3 points back in free throws because I hit a 3-point shot in the 4th quarter in the clutch that people are telling me not to take. Ha! Miles says Solo Guru, take us to church, man. Let me hear it. Oh, hey, I was about to break out. So I've got to hide behind the mile. That's what we do. We're hiding behind Giannis, 23, 13, and 10. Kuzma, 10 points, 4 boards, 4 of 8. 0 of 2 from 3, had a much better second half, 3 turnovers than he did first half. Rough first half, especially from Kuzma. I thought, again, he scored a little bit to start in the 3rd quarter again. And all points are points, is what it is. Not the best game. He did get benched going down the stretch, and I was fine with it. Again, I think people, for whatever reason, believe that we sat here and was like, we got to have Kuzma. He's the lifesaver. Nobody said that. We just needed some minutes. You need bodies. What Franklin's saying. If you watch whatever, so Franklin say, bodies. You need the bodies from Kyle Kuzma. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 25 minutes tonight. You get benched down the stretch. Oh, well. Another guy who got benched down the stretch, Brook Lopez, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 of 9 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. He was a minus 18 tonight. Brook Lopez... I mean, again, defense falls off a cliff. He's slow. He's aloof. When he's not hitting shots, it's just like he's out there. Again, Kuzma and Brook, they can get into real points where they're just running around. Let's be frank. Let's be real. They get to points where they're both running around. Another guy who's just running around, Taurean Prince, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 of 9 for the field, running around. He was running around tonight. That's what he was running around tonight. Ryan Rollins, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists from him. He was a minus 11. I didn't think he was terrible. Did he turn the ball over? He had 1 turnover tonight. So again, that starting group just wasn't good enough. No way around. Starting group just wasn't good enough. NYC Demon with the super chat says, Doc did what I was screaming for him to do all game. He did it in the 4th and stuck with it. Good game from Doc. Still want Mike Malone next year for what he would do with Giannis, Dame offensively with feed families. Again, you talk about feeding families. Giannis at the 5 is going to feed families. And NYC, we'll talk about Mike Malone at the end of the program. I get, to me, and it's the same thing, and I'll talk about this at the end, but it's the exact same thing with Adrian Griffin. And I think we talked about it on Twitter a little earlier, right, where we talked about it a little earlier on Twitter during the game, where you said, are you going to bring back Doc next year? And it's like, we'll see. I got to see. You have to allow him to go to the playoffs. That's why it didn't make sense. And again, just before we even get to it, it's stupid. There's no doubt about it. It is dumb to fire your coach with 3 games left in the season, Memphis. Well, Memphis did it with Taylor Jenkins, stupid as hell, and it's escaping me who a man's coach for now. The Nuggets, Mike Malone. They fired Mike Malone. Stupid. There's no reason. It's stupid. You're punting on the year. And again, I said it was. And again, I'm consistent. That's why. Again, I know we have this dialogue with people, and it's sometimes I wish my guys were here, but now I feel like I'm talking to yourself, stream of consciousness, just you and me and the camera. We're just having this dialogue here. But I would be a hypocrite if I said it about Mike Malone, if I said it about Taylor Jenkins. I'd be a hypocrite because I said it about Adrian Griffin. And I would be a hypocrite if I didn't say, no, yeah, I want to see what Doc does in the playoffs. If he fails, he fails. But you have to allow him the opportunity to fail. So, yes, Doc Rivers, whether you like it or not, he's the coach. Whether you liked Adrian Griffin or not, he was the coach and he was 30-13. If you're gonna fail, let's see you fail in the playoffs. And correctly, we predicted, if you've been riding with us this entire time watching the show, we said, hey, if firing Adrian Griffin's not gonna get you anywhere. You're gonna lose. The Memphis Grizzlies, firing Taylor Jenkins is going to get you nowhere. You're going to lose. The Denver Nuggets, firing Mike Malone and your GM is going to get you nowhere if you're trying to compete for a championship. All these articles about Giannis leaving, where are the articles about Joker leaving? If you fire your coach 3 games before the season ends, this is even worse. Like, Adrian Griffin didn't get a chance to get a playoff run. Taylor Jenkins had playoff runs. He's missing his best player. Wants to get suspended all year. Mike Malone you talk about Mike Budenholzer getting a couple playoff runs after a championship. Mike Malone got 1 playoff run after a championship and gets fired. That's insane. Again, so the Denver Nuggets are punting on the season. If you fire your coach, so people fire Doc, you're punting on the season. You don't want to do it. Chris King says, Trey, amazing. I wish I was out there with you. I wish everybody was here with me too. We're trying to do it. Somebody give me a like for the solo guru. We're in here. We're in the building. Come on in the room. I'm still going with the appreciated super chat though, NYC Demon. Still going with the game recap tonight. Bobby Porter's 18-10. 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block, 7-15 from the field. Say what you want, but we talked about it. Bobby Portis was coming back to this basketball team. To me, the biggest number is not the 18 points, which again, by the way, thank you, Bobby Portis, for winning me some money because they had the over 8.5. And you know, buddy, my wife said there, I said, hey, what do you think Bobby Portis gonna do? He said, he's gonna get 23. I said, okay. So I go, look, it's 8.5. Oh yeah, I'm taking the 8.5 I'm taking the 8.5 every day. All day, every day, I take the 8.5. Yeah, King's coach the same way. Somebody in the chat says King's coach. Yes, Mike Brown, stupid to fire him too. Even though they're in the play-in, I believe they're still in the play-in or messing around. They weren't going anywhere anyway. But again, I don't understand why you're fired. It doesn't make sense to me. King Nas 24 says Timberwolves fired their coach after losing. I can see it with the way the NBA's going right now. You might as well. But Bobby Portis, the biggest number in this was not the 18 points. It was the 10 rebounds. It was the 10 rebounds. That's what it was. And we talked about it. Again, I've apologized to Bobby Portis. I apologize to his family. They're not fake rebounds. Tonight, I just want to check and see. The Timberwolves, they did have 10 offensive rebounds tonight. Bucks had 11 offensive rebounds. Rebounding as a total, what did the rebounding as a total finish tonight for the team? Total rebounds, Minnesota 42, Bucks 43. Bucks win the rebounding battle tonight. That's the Bobby Portis difference. He had the second most rebounds on the team behind Giannis, who had 13. That's the difference in the Bobby Portis. They're not fake rebounds. How about Gary Trent Jr., 7 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists for him. He was 2 of 6 from 3. Kevin Porter Jr., well, I'll stop it. AJ Green, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 3 of 6 from 3. Had 2 of the biggest threes of the night there in the fourth quarter. The solo three-pointer. The solo three-pointer at you had the deep 3 above the brick, and then you had the 3 in the corner to tie the game, which was huge. AJ Green, again, this is why we talked about. This is why you let him play through it. You let him shoot through it. AJ Green, 100%. AJ Green, 100%. He can win you a series. I think there was a stat up during the game that on FanDuel Sports Network, as it's now called, where Gary Trent Jr. has now made the most 3-point shots in Bucks history off the bench. AJ Green is nestled in there as well. They're both top 5 in hitting threes off the bench for a season. So big time performances, and AJ Green again. When you're a pure shooter like that, you're in the shoot. That's what you want to see. You earn your nickname back from Barely Bird to Dairy Bird. And tonight, I mean, again, that 3, there are all shots are not created equal. All shots are not created equal. And you hit one to tie it, you hit one above the, I mean, those deep shots, that's what gets people going. That's what gets people excited. And the 5-serve was 100% feeling that energy. But it was Kevin Porter Jr., 21 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals tonight from him. 6 of 9 from the field. I mean, 4 of his steals came in the fourth quarter, I believe. It was magnificent. It was a magnificent performance. I mean, he gets to the basket. He hits shots. He's hitting jumpers. He's fast break layup. He's dynamite. He's dynamite. And that's what we talked about. And I mentioned it before. It's the ceiling. The ceiling is different. And so I like Ryan Rollins and what Ryan Rollins brings. And I probably somebody in the chat even said it earlier that they think maybe I said he was running around. Maybe I may have spoken a little too carelessly about him. I don't mean to say that he's running around. I'm just saying there is a difference between being an impact player and I don't want to call him a guy. I think Ryan Rollins is extremely talented. I think he can get you in and out of an offense if you need a guy to do that. And I think he can run a backup group. And if he has it going, he can play well. And if he's hitting his shot, watch out for real. And I think he's a really good defender, but it's not the same as a Kevin Porter Jr. who can take over a basketball game at any given time. That's different. That's a different skill set. Now, again, Kevin Porter Jr., his floor is much lower. He can get careless with the ball. He can turn the ball over. But you're talking about a guy. The value's there. 25 minutes for him tonight. He was electric. I don't know what his points were or what his. I think he had 4 steals in the fourth quarter alone. He was swiper no swiping. I said on Twitter, I thought you had to keep Ryan Rollins out of the target because he was a thief. He's stealing everything. Kevin Porter Jr. was stealing it all. I mean, my goodness, you had to lock him up for the theft that he committed on the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight, and they were timely steals big time in the fourth quarter. And Daniel Johnson, we'll get to Rudy Gobert. Oh, Rudy poo-ass biatch. NYC Demon with the super chat says, on the game, though, we GA at the 5 is the answer for this team. Yes, it is. We never saw it with Dame praying. Dame can come back. Let's go Bucks. Let's go Trey doing the show solo. Missing my guy Justin. I'm missing Justin too. I'm missing Justin. I'm missing Chris. You're missing JT. We out here, man. It's solo guru again. If you just joined us, we had some technical difficulties this evening in the program. That's why we got started a little late. But again, I just had to jump on and talk with you guys tonight about this big-time comeback victory for your Milwaukee Bucks, 110-103. Let's go to the Minnesota side of things. Jay McDaniels, 13 points, 5 boards, 3 assists. Julius Randle, 9.7 rebounds, 6 assists. That's it for him. That's it. That's a good night if you're the Milwaukee Bucks stopping him. And again, I'll say this about the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's a good defensive team. That's a very good defensive basketball team. And so the way they're stopping the Bucks all night long, I'm not surprised. It's a very good defensive basketball team. Thank you, Daniel. I'm trying to have it. It's a very good defensive basketball team. So, yes, they were able to get some stops. I thought we gave up some open looks. Yes. But then I think Minnesota hit some contested shots as well. I mean, Anthony Edwards had it going for a while. And then all of a sudden it just stopped. It fell off a cliff. Donnie DiVincenzo was huge tonight. 24 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Naz Reid killed us early. 17 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. Mike Conley was running around. And then you had Anthony Edwards 25, 7, and 4. He finished with 27 field goals attempts. I wonder what he shot in the fourth quarter. Who was defending him in the fourth? Does anybody remember who had him? The other point in this game, Justin from NC's on here, he says playoff atmosphere. The other point in this game, and again, we thank you for the super chat, NYC. The other point in this game that was big, at what point it wasn't a fight, but when Rudy Gobert pulled down Kevin Porter Jr., that's all frustration. That was all frustration. It goes back to the fridge. Let me compose myself. That before I say something crazy. See, no, I don't have anybody here to filter me, so I got to filter myself. Rudy Gobert, we know he's a punk. We know he's soft. 7'3", whatever he is, and soft. He's soft. He's soft. What Stephen A. Smith say? I said too. Hey, if I ever got into Rudy Gobert, I don't care how tall he is, I would swing on him immediately. Ain't nobody scared of Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert. Ain't nobody scared of no Rudy Gobert. Smack fire, Rudy Gobert. Hairline like a peninsula. But anyway, Rudy Gobert is just, I mean, he throws down and hold. Does anybody have a name of the female official? I thought she was horrible tonight. I thought she was terrible tonight. I mean, my God, I wouldn't say like again. I think I'm very fair. Sometimes I say the Bucks play 5-on-8. They didn't play 5-on-8, but they did play 5-on-6. They did play 5-on-6 tonight. That lady, she was unbearable. Everything. I mean, she was ready to call charges. She wouldn't call. There was another moment where somebody threw somebody down. She wouldn't call that. Who's driving to the basket, get knocked down, won't call that. I mean, come on. She was terrible. And then she's watching the play. KPJ's locked up. Rudy Gobert just throws him to the ground, and I was glad. Again, I need dogs. That's what this team is missing, dogs. And Kevin Porter Jr. is a dog. We talk about statues and giving guys statues and Chris Miller's statue. I don't care what you say. John Horst's statue for bringing in Kevin Porter Jr. because you brought yourself another dog on this basketball team. And as soon as you threw him down, Kevin Porter Jr. walked right up on him. But he had the presence of mind not to do anything. Just, hey, I'm going to walk up on you, and I'm going to let you know that's not how we play. That's not how we play. Again, do you think it's a coincidence? Do you think it's a coincidence that the first game Bobby Portis gets back, there's an altercation, and Bobby Portis is in the middle of it? You think it's a coincidence? I think not. Sabonia Sithole says KPJ had 11 in the fourth. Daniel, sad these zebras was wild. I thought they were terrible, man. I thought, again, not everybody. I just thought the female was terrible. I thought she was bad. Not singling her out. I just noticed her. All the time. She stuck out like a sore thumb because she kept calling charges, and then she watches Rudy Gobert throw KPJ down, and then somehow out of all of that, Minnesota gets free throws. Minnesota gets free throws in the ball. That was hilarious to me. Al McGuire says RP to the dudes who are asking for Marjan minutes early in the year. Yeah, no, that's dead. 100% dead. And again, a great trade to get KPJ in here, but he absolutely was dominant in that fourth quarter. There's no way around it. Bucks win 110-103, down 24. They were down 20 points. They had listen to this, man. I mean, the quarters for Minnesota. They won the first quarter 28-23. They won the second quarter 28-22. They won the third quarter 34-25. And in the fourth quarter, the Bucks won 40-13. They went on a 30-3 run. Did Minnesota and somebody their coach is Finch, right? I think it's his name. How many timeouts did they call in the fourth? I felt like the Bucks went on a big run before before it hit them. You know, I didn't feel like they used timeouts wisely. I could be wrong. I mean, it was just an avalanche. It was an absolute avalanche what we saw. DJ Droop with the super chat says, like Bump J said, you a big old goofy Rudy Gobert. He is. Yeah, he started the COVID movement. That's what he's going to be known for. Big jabroni. He He brought COVID to the U.S. That's what happened. Trey said belt to. It was a belt to ass. There's no way around. It was a belt to ass. That fourth quarter was full on belt to ass. Now, the other thing I want to get to, again, talk about is wild comeback, Bucks win 110-103. The other thing I want to get to for a quick second here is how people feel. And I want to know how you guys in particular feel. Because I know how you would have felt had the Bucks lost, because my mentions we're talking about it all day, all the entire game. Tish says he called a few timeouts. He used them when the runs happened, but it kept getting worse. I do remember one in particular, and they came out and they still couldn't hit anything. I don't know if Minnesota just ran out of gas. I don't know what it was. It was a pathetic performance in the fourth quarter from them. I would be interested in hearing what he said after the game. Because when the Bucks hit big shot after big shot after big shot and kept coming, and Minnesota had zero answers. I mean, they had zero answers down 24, and the Bucks, they closed. And again, kudos to Doc Rivers. Giannis plays 38 minutes tonight. He came in early in the fourth, and that's how you have to do it. In a game that you want to win, you bring Giannis back early in the fourth. Giannis typically sits until about the 8, 7 minute mark in the fourth quarter. Brought him back 10 minutes ago, and you ran with that group, and you kept that group in. And you rode the hot hand. We talk about it all time with Doc Rivers. But I do want to ask you guys how you would have felt had this team lost the game. And I don't mean lose it. I mean what was happening. I mean, they were on track to lose this game by 20, 25, maybe 30 points if this thing had come. They were down 24 points in the fourth. I mean, how would you have felt about this team had the Milwaukee Bucks lost the game in the fashion in which they were about to lose it? Because the people that I was talking to, and it's just so funny, the swings of not only is it over, the season's over. This team's going nowhere. Fire Doc now to, oh my God. Again, do you think this is a flash in the pan? Or do you think this is what the Bucks team is? Reminder, this team's won 5 games in a row. This team is on a 5-game win streak right now. And the Minnesota Timberwolves are a good basketball team, ladies and gentlemen. They are 46 and 33. Bucks are 45 and 34. Again, they're going to beat the Pelicans, so they'll have 46 wins. And they could have. I know it's not sexy. It's not 60 wins. But if they had something to play for, maybe I don't know if they will against Detroit. You could be looking at a team, a 48-win team that started off 2-8. Tish said she was about to leave 2 minutes into the fourth. Young City talking about the Bucks zone defense. Yes, Doc Rivers. So a couple things that brought this team back. One, the energy, the hustle, that everything that they felt like doing that they wanted to do, and just getting themselves back to the game and not letting go of the rope. Like, that's the thing. You don't let go of the rope. Rosby says the other teams are for G League. I don't care about that because it's your process and it's about finding ways to win. Those guys get paid too. And you can't chuck this up to another game. I don't know if you say you would have chucked the loss up to another game, but this is different. Like I think especially when you see Mike Malone get fired and you hear the rumors that the team's quitting on him. And I don't know if you saw the press conference where he was like, nobody's watching film, nobody gives a F about anything, nobody does that. And he's kind of calling out his team for their effort. And you think he gets fired for that. And I hear people say, oh, Doc Rivers, it's the effort. Like, that shows me that it's not that. And again, I go back to it, and for 3 quarters, there's apathy, and you're not really not playing hard, not getting the rebound, not doing all the little things you're supposed to do. Leaving a lot of open guys open for shots, especially Donnie DiVincenzo. How many times we leave him? How many miscommunications do we have? Bobby Portis first checks into the game. Y'all, if you're at the arena, you guys were mid screaming Bobby. And the first thing he does is give up. He had a mismatch. Not a mismatch. He had a miscommunication with Kuzma, and I think that was on Bobby. I don't think that was on Kuzma. And get a corner 3. First, we couldn't even finish the Bobby chance before he gave up a corner 3. And then in the fourth quarter, he's playing lockdown defense. He's moving those hush puppies down there on the perimeter and inside, and he's grabbing rebounds. But what it shows me is you don't ever give up the rope. You don't give up the rope. Again, Mark Johnson on the broadcast, he would have said chop wood, carry water. That's what the Bucks did. And it also lets you know when you have a guy like Giannis, the game's never over. Again, the people were in my mentions telling me, oh, well, you don't think Indiana's licking their chops to play the Bucks? They better not be. You better not be. I don't know, man. I was impressed tonight. I was thoroughly impressed by this comeback, by what we saw, by how hard the Bucks played. And it just lets you know there are guys out there that the Bucks that you can play with. And I think Giannis at the 5, when we talk about lineups, and NYC says it's easy when he's playing with KPJ, Trent, AJ, Giannis. Sure, it can be easy when you're playing with those guys, but there are also times when it doesn't work. Now, again, we haven't seen a lot of Giannis at the 5 lineups. So we saw that tonight, and I think that was the biggest difference to me towards anything. It really was. That was the big difference to me. You're right, baby. We're 3-1 against those frauds, against those front runners. Should be 4-0, but for a Tyrese Halliburton fake 3-pointer plus a phantom foul at the end of the game, should be 4-0 against them. I don't think they're that good either. I really don't think Indiana's that good. Duck Hash Browns with the super chat. Appreciate it. He says, the loss would have showed me that they aren't ready. This win shows me they can reach a level to keep me engaged as a fan for the playoffs. The defense stepped up. Agree and disagree some, Duck. Because, again, I'm just waiting on – we just have not seen throughout the course of this year a lot of Giannis at the 5 lineups. We haven't seen a lot of it. And that's the break glass in case of emergency. That's what the Bucks won the finals doing. Giannis at the 5. And you didn't get to see – and so think about everything that's gone beyond that in the playoffs. Giannis only plays 2.5 games against the Miami Heat as he was hurt. You had Boston on the ropes up 3-2. With no Chris Middleton, the year after that, well, no, that was 22. That was the year after championship. 2023 was the year you had Giannis plays 2.5 games. Last year, Giannis doesn't play at all. So you have not seen the Bucks' optimal lineup, which is Giannis at the 5. And again, the Bucks can just move faster. They grab more rebounds. They're more athletic. They can switch all over the court. It's good basketball. And when you're hitting shots with it, it's, dare I say, I won't say it's unbeatable, because I think there are teams that have the depth to beat it. I would say with Dame, let me say this: if you add Damian Lillard into the equation, then and he's playing at a then you're like, okay, what are we doing? When I say what are we doing, I mean if you're telling me that's Damian Lillard, KPJ at the 2, Gary Trent at 3, Bobby 4, Giannis 5 in some lineups. Oh, Gary's not shooting the ball well. Let's put in AJ Green. Oh, KPJ's not playing. Okay, we'll put Gary Trent and AJ Green in. Oh, we need a little more defense. Okay, I think that's where you're going a little bit closer to try to make this thing work. And I think it's there. And I think that's the biggest question about this team moving forward is the lineups. Somebody said, he's saying, when did Giannis say he doesn't like playing the 5? So it's basically been pretty, it's been pretty well documented throughout the years. It's not that Giannis doesn't like playing it in the playoffs. In the regular season. He's mentioned before that it taxes his body. One guy who you guys know I don't have any respect for, Dario Melendez, but I will say, again, I give credit where it's due. He's reported on this very much when he was with the team. Now I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's always coloring and dyeing his hair, making sure his hair is intact, but that's another story. But Dario Melendez, back when he was covering the Bucks, had these conversations with Giannis, and Giannis has talked at length about he doesn't like to play the 5. I don't think he minds it in playoffs. I think he wants it. He does it when it's necessary, but it's been documented he doesn't like to play the 5. I don't think he wants. It's kind of like and I get it. It's kind of like Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, very well noted, doesn't like to play the 5. Doesn't like to do it. Tish and Todd going back and forth about Damian Lillard playing the 2. Todd, of course, you're not impressed by the win streak. No, and then Todd's gonna tell me that guys 2 through 10, 3 through 10 are the worst players in the world that they can't play. Again, KPJ is as capable as anybody. He's as capable as anybody. Bobby Portis coming back is a change for this basketball team. It really is. And again, the problem with Bobby, especially defensively, is when he's sitting at the 4 and Brook Lopez is his backup. I mean, not his back, but his backside help is a 5. That's the problem. I don't understand. Doc had a lineup in the second quarter. Like, why are we going back to that? Like, we should never go back to that. We should never go back to Bobby 4, Brook Lopez 5. That doesn't work. That has been proven to not work. But when Bobby's a 4 and Giannis is a 5, it's a different. Again, you're encapsulating him with better defenders. AJ Green's out there on the floor with him. Kemp Jr.'s out there on the floor with him. Gary Trent's out there on the floor with like that. When you can surround him. Again, Gary Trent's not a slouch defensively. KPJ's not a slouch defensively. AJ Green is very handsy with foul, but he's not a slouch defensively. And Giannis is as capable as a defender as anybody in the world. I know they're going to gift wrap Draymond Green Defensive Player of the Year, but if Giannis really felt like could be a role player and just play defense and wasn't responsible for getting triple-doubles all night, he could be Defensive Player of the Year too. So I say all that to say, again, Bobby Portis can be a capable defender if he's encapsulated by better defenders around him. And again, the stench is not as bad. You put bad off-ball defenders in with him, he's on the floor with Taurean Prince. Yeah, mistakes will happen. As much as I'm just saying, I like Kuzma, but Kuzma I think is a pretty good on-ball defender. He can have some mental lapses. You put him on the court with Kuzma and Taurean Prince, and yeah, who's switching? You got him, I got him. Boom, open threes. Like that kind of stuff will happen. NYC Demon, another super chat. Appreciate it. Says, win or lose, it's the same thing for me. Brook and Bobby lineups should be banished. Yeah, I agree. From Doc's mind, Brook is unplayable too many nights for my liking. Again, talking about the lineups now, I totally agree. Brook and Bobby don't work because defensively they don't work. Bobby Portis, though, energy. I thought the energy was great tonight from him. I thought he played well. Somebody tell me who was guarding Anthony Edwards in the fourth, down the stretch in the fourth? I just don't recall. Who was guarding him down the fourth in the stretch, if anybody knows? I thought the defense was good on him for the majority of the night. I thought Kuzma was good on him defensively. Again, he hit shots, got to his spots. I thought Minnesota had some microwave ball for a second, little magnet ball they were hitting in the second and third quarter. In the fourth quarter, just like the door just blew open, and they couldn't hit a shot. Open, contested, they couldn't hit anything when before they were. But yeah, I thought the defense was really good on Anthony Edwards. Rudy Gobert, 6 points. Now you did a great job on him. I mean, he was basically he was a non-factor tonight. He was an absolute non-factor. And Minnesota got loose with the ball, and the Bucks just had their way with them. And then it's just timely shots. And those guys hit. I mean, again, you had 8. You look at your bench points tonight. 18 from Portis, 21 from Kevin Porter Jr. That makes a difference. Again, I'm asking you guys, how far can this team go with Damian Lillard? We've been waiting. Again, I know we evaluate the trades and talk. How far can this team go? Again, hold on. We're talking about Brook Lopez and Bobby Lyles. What if I got real freaky? What if I got real freaky and said I'll put Sims at the 5, Giannis at the 4, or Bobby at the 4 and Giannis at the 3? What if I did something like that with an AJ Green and Damian Lillard and Kevin Porter Jr.? What if I really wanted to play defense and a jumbo lineup like that, and encapsulate you with not just Giannis at the 5, but a great defender in Sims at the 5, with Giannis playing on the wing, and then two other solid wing defenders out there as well? You could do that. You can do that. Doc Rivers has some tools at his disposal that he can mess with, that he can play with, and he can make those things work. Oh, Kinkis' KPJ was guarding him. Todd says Lillard's the 7th best three-point shooter. Yeah, but again, you look at his gravity. It's the gravity. It's the gravity that he holds, and that he holds on the court. And you talk about the blitzes, and the only thing I will say, appreciate you guys telling me that KPJ was on Anthony Edwards. And yeah, the defense, off-ball defense, KPJ was insane. I mean, he was all in the passing lanes. Al McGuire's asking if any actual info on Sims. The last thing we heard from Doc Rivers, well, again, before he was injured and got the thumb surgery, they said 4 weeks. We got to be right around that heading into the playoffs, where with Sims coming in. And so Doc Rivers, last time I heard him, he was on presser before the last game, giving his Damian Lillard update. He said Sims said they're hopeful for the playoffs. Now, I didn't like the word hopeful. I would think you'd be saying, hey, yeah, he's gonna be back for the playoffs, because his injury should have a little more certainty. Apparently, he's been going through workouts and doing workouts all left-handed because he has the right thumb issue. But hell, I don't need him shooting the ball anyway. Play defense. You wrap that sucker up. Play defense, block shots, and set hard screens. You don't even need the thumb. Cut the thumb off. Yeah, you don't need to shoot one ball. Dunk it with your left. All right? Tape it up. Let's go. William Moraine, Super Chat, says, man, another triple-double from Giannis. This just goes to show when he's the main facilitator, he can put up the same number as Joker, if not better. 100%. 100% he can. And I don't want to make this a rep, but you talk about Joker. I don't want to make this a referendum on Damian Lillard, but there was a moment, and I hadn't seen this. Like, I've seen Giannis get doubled. He gets doubled a lot, tripled a lot. He gets walled up a lot. We see that. I don't usually see him, again, but he was bringing the ball up a little more than even normal. He got blitzed tonight off a screen. And, again, I'm not trying to make a referendum on Damian Lillard, but Damian Lillard gets blitzed, and there's so many times where he can't find his way to the basket. He can't find his way to get loose, and he ends up not throwing it away, but he ends up giving the ball to somebody else, and he never hear from him again for the rest of the possession. And you have the Dame stands that come in and say, see, they're not setting double orange screens for him, and Giannis got blitzed. They're blitzing him. Giannis gets blitzed. Again, I'm talking about the one time I really vividly remember blitz, and next thing I know, Giannis at the basket taking free throws because he done gone through the blitz and got all the way to the cup. All I'm saying, and again, I'm not trying to talk. I'm just saying the excuses run few and far between with me, with superstars. Superstars are always blitzed. Superstars are double teamed. Superstars are triple teamed. Superstars do get all the attention. Superstars find a way to score, to make the right play. Like, I thought Giannis in the first half, I think he only had 6 points in the first half. I thought he made the right decisions the entire night. But again, that goes to being more of, you talked about William, a facilitator. And when you're out there and you have to be the main facilitator, you can't take all the shots. You can't do it. You have to play. You keep playing, and then you just wait. Guys will hit a couple shots, and then things will loosen up. Things will loosen up for you. I'm just proud of this basketball team, man. That's all I can really say. I'm proud of the basketball team. They deserve this one. You got down 20-26 or whatever. Yeah, Kuz was on them early, Smitty says. But Danny says Giannis is 6'11". But what is that? Yes, I get that. But what does that? But there are a bunch of guards that Kyrie Irving getting blitzed. A bunch of guards get Jalen Brunson gets blitzed. Like, I can give you smaller guards to get blitzed. Damian Lillard got blitzed when he was in Portland. He was, is he a step? The question is he a step slower? But again, blitzing is blitzing. Doubling is doubling. 6'11", 6'10". Hell, that's even more space with the ball that's not connected from you. And ain't like Giannis got the tightest of handles. He has great handles for 6'11", but he ain't got the tightest of handles. I know he can get over the defense quick draw, but I'm just saying he's doing different things. Find a way. That's all I'm telling you. I don't care. 6'11", 6'2", 6'1", Muggsy Bogues, find a way. You got to score. You're a superstar. You score the basketball. That's what he's doing. King says best win all year. 100%. 100%, man. Oh, man. If this is the best win all year, hit the like button, please. 110, 103 Bucks win. Derek Clay says Dame was awesome. That's my question. And again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. You're getting older. You may lose a step. But let's acknowledge it. And again, you can still be very effective. And I think, dare I say, you can be a superstar. But you got to hit but if you've lost a step and you can't get past the blitz, you got to hit the open shots. You got to hit the shots when you're a spot-up shooter. You got to do the other little things. You got to get downhill when you can get downhill. That's the only thing I'm saying. NYC Demon says blitzing didn't work when Adrian Griffin was the coach. Well, that's true. I do think he got some fouls. Todd says the best win was against OKC. Second best was without Giannis Dame in Minnesota. Todd, if I recall, now maybe it wasn't you, so I don't mean I said. I remember telling people the Bucks beat the Minnesota Timberwolves without Giannis and Dame, and what I was told was, Minnesota played a bad game. That was they played a bad game. They didn't play well. They didn't shoot the ball. What's the excuse tonight? I don't know that Giannis gets all the calls either. I think he earns a lot of calls. I don't think he gets the calls that other guys get. I will say Bobby Portis again, just going back to 18-10 in 28 minutes. That's effective to me. 7-15 from the field. He brought a lot. And let me just look at the shot selection here. From the field, Giannis took 15 shots. Bobby took 15 shots. Those are the top shooters on the team as far as field goal attempts. Which again is kind of what I thought, especially without Damian Lillard. Your guy who, I would almost say the next best shot creator is Kevin Porter Jr. for sure. But the next best guy and I'm not saying best in the sense of the word, but just the next guy that's going to find a way to get his shots and will shoot whenever is Bobby Portis, especially with that second group. And again, I think they went to him early and often, and he hit shots. And I think, again, it's 2 for 6 from three. It took him a second to get the three-point shot rolling. But once he had that, he hit a couple late in the game, too. Had one I thought he got fouled on, but, that's neither here nor there in this one. And so the Bucks do win it 110-103. A comeback for the ages. Biggest comeback of the year. I think, again, it's just momentum. 5 in a row. I know they won 4 against G League teams, JV teams, whatever you want to say. That's 5 in a row, and it's looking more and more like a matchup with the Indiana Pacers that you're going to get. Dan Datchy Boxing says, love this win, but we were down bad and played some bad ball against teams like Boston and Cleveland. Well, they let us come back. I'm not that sure, but I do think we beat those teams in a 7-game series. Without Damian Lillard, I don't know that you can beat them in a 7-game series, but I will say, we're talking about coming back from being down. Again, the difference is you go to Giannis at the 5 earlier. You get down 10-15, it's Giannis at the 5 now. I'm going that now versus waiting. And again, I get it, but regular season, you don't have to go for all these wins, but you're late in the season, you want to see what you got. And I thought Doc Rivers, again, I would have loved Justin was here to tell us what Doc Rivers said today, because I would have loved to hear his thoughts. But again, I'm glad he went with the bench, glad he went the hot hand, and it was absolutely deserved. You guys got to go with the hot hand too, and go to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill out there in Pewaukee, Wisconsin, Lakeview Boulevard. Sponsor of the show, of course, Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Head out there on Wednesdays and Thursdays. They have trivia going. They got bingo going. You do well in bingo. You do well in trivia. You can get tickets to a Milwaukee Bucks game. I don't know how many more Bucks games are left at home. Maybe just one. Maybe just the Pelicans and then one more against Detroit. Or maybe you're on the road against the Pelicans. I don't know. I don't have the schedule in front of me. I got too much going on. Haven't been able to pull it up. The Bucks. Let me see. The Bucks are at on Thursday. Yes, they're home against the Pelicans. And then, the last one. Why don't I see the last one? Okay, I don't know. Home against the Pelicans. And then on Friday, they are away against the Pistons. And then I thought they had another game, but I don't know. It's not pulling up for me. But yeah, let me know. I think there's two more. I think maybe it's not on my schedule because that's a new game they added in. But maybe that's home. I'm not sure. Somebody let me know. But but I know that last one on Friday will be televised, and that means $3 bottles and pints out there at Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Head on out there. Tell them the Guru sent you. Tell them the Cream City Crossover sent you. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, proud sponsor of the Cream City Crossover. I'm looking at this. Oh, quick, y'all talking about Todd. Yeah, Todd. No, you're wrong. Said I don't think he was working on the group. You're 30 and 13, Todd. What do you mean nothing was working? Something was working. Something was working. Something had to be working when you're 30 and 13. That's all. That's all. That's just all I'm trying to say. Something had to be working for you there, man. I'm just proud of the basketball team, man. This gives me a lot of hope, a lot of inspiration, and if you can get Damian Lillard back, watch out because the lineups Doc can go with are insane. And Bobby Porter showed you what he can do. You get Sims back. You just have much more versatility, offense and defense. I think it's going to be very interesting to see, not necessarily what the lineups are. I do think, let me ask you this. Do you guys think there needs to be a change to the starting lineup? I do. I think in the playoffs you need to. I don't know how much you can go Brook Lopez. I really don't. I think he's more of the problem. I know some people say it's Kuzma. I think it's, let me say this. I think it's the combination of Kuzma, Prince, and Lopez. I think those three is a tough combo to have on the court defensively and somewhat offensively. Like, I think Kuzma does some things well. He does some things not so well. I think Brook Lopez does some things well, some things not so well. Taurean Prince, I think, of the three, has the most limited skill set of them all because he really can only do one thing. He shoot the three. And he does have an occasional drive, but of those three, I think he has Kuzma. I say Kuzma has a limited skill set offensively, but I think he's a little bit better defensively on ball. Brook, when he's really, really trying, I think he can block shots. Offensively, he has the highest skill set of all of them because he can shoot the ball and he can play down basket, back to the basket, and he can play in the mid-range as well. Started off the scoring for the Bucks tonight, hit the little push shot around the mid-range. So he has the most, and that's why it's hard because they all do different. It's just kind of hard getting those guys' synergy working all at the same time. Like, to have them working, Prince has to be hitting threes. Brook Lopez has to be hitting from everywhere on the court, as well as backing guys down and not letting these guys score. Kuzma has to be playing lockdown defense and slashing to the cup, plus being in a dunker role. Maybe hit the occasional three. It's just hard to get all that going because all three of those guys are inconsistent players. So I think that but I think it's hard. You're not going to start Giannis at the 5. Again, if it was me, I'd probably start Sims at the 5. I'm not even going to lie to you. I probably would. I don't think Doc Rivers has the moxie, the cojones. I don't think he has it to start Sims at the 5. I really don't. So I think you're stuck with Brook starting. So to me, the question is, and again, the other thing, it's hard for me because, and again, as much as we want to talk about Taurean Prince and Kuzma, you have them both playing out of position. Kuzma's his best at a 4. He really is. I think I do. I can concede that. Kuzma is at his best probably at the 4. He's playing out of position, and Taurean Prince is playing. But at least I think Kuz can get away with it being at 3 sometimes. Taurean Prince is way out of position. There's no reason he's playing at 2. Taurean Prince is a 3 and he's a small ball 4. He's really more big wing, small ball 4. He's way out of position at the 2. There's no reason he's doing that. So to me, that's the move I would make. I would probably throw either Gary Trent Jr., AJ Green, and then maybe it'd be AJ Green. It'd either be AJ Green or Gary Trent Jr., and that's what I would start. And then you can make a question on whether you start Rollins or Kevin Porter Jr. You ride with the hot hand. Again, I think Rollins is a bit more stable, but Kevin Porter Jr., again, when he's playing like he played tonight, it's tough. It's tough to keep him off the court. It's really tough to keep him off the court. Todd says Kuzma. You saying Kuzma asked to play the 5? When was this? He can't play the 5 either. I mean, he ain't no 5. Again, really just because he doesn't rebound. The other thing I was a little disappointed in Kuzma, I thought he rebounded the ball much, much better. I think when he first got here, I thought he rebounded the ball very well. I don't want to say it's falling off a cliff, but he don't rebound at the rate I want him to. Like if you're not going to play offense, if you're not going to score the ball, which he's not doing great, I think 4 of 8. Again, that's I don't mind that. That's fine. That to me, that's fine, especially if Damian Lillard's here. If Damian Lillard is taking his steadiest shot, like with a full healthy roster, I will take 4 of 8 from Kuz all day long. Because I don't want you shooting 15 shots. I'll take 4 of 8. That's fine. That means you get that. I don't have no problem with it. Like, I didn't have a problem with that. My issue is it's the other things. Like, you have to be able to rebound the basketball. Like, for the three, like I would expect Kuzma to be close to double-double every night. Like, he should be 7, 8, 9, 10 rebounds a night. Really. And because they're there. Because with Brook Lopez in the starting lineup, the rebounds are there to have, and you don't have them. So I have a problem with that piece of it. But yeah, I just think he's playing. I think Torrey Prince for sure is playing out of position. So to me, that's the change. To me, the two guys I would change is Prince and Lopez in the starting lineup. I would put Sims in my starting 5, and I either put Gary Trent Jr. or AJ Green into 2. And then like I said, I mean, you can flip a coin on KPJ or Rollins. I almost kind of like KPJ off the bench because you want that firepower off because his off the bench is a little bit different. It's almost like a Lou Will off the bench, right? Like who else used to come off the bench that was a lot of firepower? Didn't Joe Johnson at one time come off the bench? I don't know if he won a 6-man a year, but he comes like, to me, KPJ comes off the bench and it's more like he comes off the bench and I expect him you may finish the game. There's no guarantee that Ryan Rollins finishing the game. Especially if KPJ has a hot hand. KPJ ends up playing more minutes than Rollins tonight, and he should, because he played better. Todd Merrill says, with this team, Bobby needs to play because he can rebound. Right, I agree. And again, his defense is and Justin's laughing, and his defense is again, I've said it before, it's encapsulated because you have better defenders around him. So really, his defensive presence is actually added because he's rebounding the ball. Again, I say it all the time. Defense doesn't end until you get the defensive rebound. The possession not over until you get the rebound. So Bobby Portis adds to that in a defensive manner. That is a part of defense, securing a defensive board. He does that. So I like it. Man, I feel like I've been going. I don't know how long I've been going. I feel like I've been going a long time. Tom Merrill says defense is no worse than Brook. You're not wrong. Not wrong at all. His defense isn't worse than Brook. At times. Let me say at times. The difference, again, my only caveat. The difference with Brook Lopez is that there are times when he can step it up and make those big-time blocks and make those big-time plays defensively, especially from a rim protection standpoint. Bobby Portis is not, he can try as hard as he can. He's not providing any rim protection. So I will say that. There are times when Brook Lopez can. 110-103, absolutely huge win tonight for the Milwaukee Bucks. They do what they need to do. They get back into this swing of things. They get the win over the Minnesota Timberwolves after being down 24 at one point. I think they had a 30-3 run, 33-8 run over the course of the fourth quarter. Ends up being a 40-13 fourth quarter as the Bucks take care of the Minnesota Timberwolves. You guys let me know what you want to do for game balls. To me, there's no doubt I'm going Kevin Porter Jr. I can't go anywhere but Kevin Porter Jr. With the game ball tonight, 21, 4, and 5. Somebody, I think he said he had 11 in the fourth quarter. He had 4 steals in the fourth quarter, 6 of 9 from the field. He didn't hit a 3-point shot tonight. Did have 3 turnovers, but he was a plus 18. He was just awesome. I mean, he was awesome. And I thought, again, like I say, all points are not created equal. It was when he hit the points. It was when he made all stat. That's what I try to tell people. To me, like, that's what I don't like. It's not that I don't care about plus minus and your O LeBron or your D LeBron rating or whatever. You got to break out your calculator and your protractor to figure out whatever measurements you got to figure out about a player. It's not that I dismiss all that stuff totally. But it's the fact that stuff doesn't always account for when it happens. It doesn't account for the little, like you can't what does your stats say about getting everybody pumped up because you're a little guy and you take on Rudy Gobert, you get up in Rudy Gobert's face. Like, to me, that's a big play to me. AJ Green hitting a shot from Lambeau Field tonight. What does your stat say about how deep the three was that gets people going? What does your stat say about a steal and a fast break layup or dunk that's different than the one that happened a couple plays earlier because the score was different when it happened? Like, that's the kind of stuff I look at. And again, that's why I say basketball's meant to be watched, not read. That's what, again, but that's me. I'm not saying you can't take stats for anything, but you have to take it with a grain of salt. You have to watch the games too. If you don't watch the games with it, I don't know what we're doing. Like somebody talking about Naz Reid. Naz Reid, to me, again, he probably had a better overall game. What did he finish with? Well, he finished 17-4. Bobby finished 18-10. I was gonna say I thought the stats would have favored Nas, but I thought Bobby was more impactful. But actually, the numbers will bear it out from just a raw standpoint that Bobby's were more impactful too. So I would have been incorrect there. But I thought Bob again another one. Like, I know Bobby can be a negative player, negative defender, negative this, negative that sometimes. But what stat do you have for the crowd saying Bobby and people getting hyped? Like, I think there was a different energy. I really do. Again, I said at the top of the show, I don't think it was a coincidence. Now, again, we got punched in the face for you're down 20. You clearly got punched in the face. But I don't think there was a coincidence that I think there were moments like this. I think there were moments in a few games prior, in the last 25 games, the Bucks were 15-10 during Bobby Porter's suspension. I thought there were some games where we could have got into it with some guys. I'm talking about the opposition. That you could have gotten somebody's face and got upset. I'm thinking about when Giannis gets dragged down in a flagrant foul. I'm thinking about those hard fouls on Giannis, and nobody did anything to anybody. I have to think that's different if Bobby Porter's on the court. And I don't think it's a coincidence. Said it again, I don't think it's a coincidence that the first time he is on the court, KPJ running up on Rudy Gobert, and Gary Trent Jr. decides to get a tech too, because it's like, well, hey, why the hell not? I might as well get in somebody's face too. I don't think it's a coincidence. So what does your stat say for that? I don't know. Again, game ball, like I said, is going to Kevin Porter Jr. AKA, I like, what are those? Are those like earrings? What does he have? Those like, they're not like, these are like not, I don't know what the hell it is. But AKA, I like it. AKA, big time plays. AKA, floor raiser. AKA, the ceiling is the roof. AKA, well, I bet they wish they still had me in Houston. Maybe not. Houston's playing well. But anyway, game ball to me goes to Kevin Porter Jr. If I was giving out a game ball for Chris King, well, I don't know if Chris King's in the chat. I don't know if he can give out his own game ball. Chris, I think, would give the game ball. I think Chris would go traditional, go Giannis. And Chris would go traditional, go Giannis. I think that Justin would go. I think Justin might go Doc Rivers for playing that, for that lineup that he went with. And I could see JT saying, "Hey man, I thought those were some big shots." No. Justin would go. No. My bad. I went KPJ. Chris goes Giannis. Justin goes Bobby. And JT goes AJ Green for the big shots. That's what I think happens. Tish says pill popping Bobby's back. I think, man, he was, man. Can he continue that throughout the rest of the season? That's all it is. And again, I think he can play. I think, again, I would say this. I think he's more important now than he was before the trade. He's more important now than he was before the flurry of trades. Because I think our defense is better. It's more athletic. We're more athletic. We're faster. We're stronger. We're bigger, faster, stronger, more athletic. All those different things. Really younger. I don't want to say bigger. Younger, faster, more athletic. And I think all of that helps out a Bobby Portis. I really do. Let's take a look around the NBA tonight. The Suns are getting smacked by the Golden State Warriors. I just want to check one more time. The Suns, they're not going to make the play-in. Wow. They are not going to make the play-in. Justin saying we're home against Detroit for one of those games we're home against Detroit. Got it. Appreciate it. Yeah, they are not going to make the play-in. They might end up finishing worse than Portland. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That's just insane to me. Just looking at that. They are gonna lose tonight to the Warriors. Clippers beat they're up 9 on the Spurs right now. Magic beat the Hawks tonight. Pacers beat the Wizards. They were down to the Washington Wizards, but they do end up winning that game. AJ Johnson, 8 points on 9 shots. He's a -21 tonight, in case anybody was wondering. Cleveland, 135-113 over the Bulls. The Grizzlies, 124-100 over the Hornets tonight. Boston, I didn't see any of that game. I heard it was a pretty good game that went on. So I wonder, I heard Jason Tatum hit a 3 to maybe get it to overtime or something like that. I don't know, maybe tied the game. I didn't see any. Of course, I was watching the Bucks, but 119-117, Celtics beat the Knicks. The Nets beat the Pelicans tonight, and the Thunder beat the Lakers 136-120. NYC is asking, did Chris play today? Well, let's check. Because I know people are talking about Kuzma. Kuzma didn't do this. Kuzma didn't do that. Kuzma strapped up his shoes tonight and played Chris Miller. No, I don't see Chris. Al McGuire. Oh, Chris is done for the year. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. Who would have saw that coming? Okay. Without any commentary. Todd says Durant and Wemby could be interesting next year. Why would the Suns trade Durant to the Spurs? And who would they be getting back? Why would they do that? Again, knowing Matt Ishbia, again, they're not, because that's the thing about them. They're not going to rebuild. Like, he's not going to go into, my thought is he's not going to go into a full rebuild. So when he trades Kevin Durant, I think you think about it in the normal sense of, well, I'm going to trade for some picks. I think he would, if he's trading Kevin Durant or Devin Booker, or again, Brad Beal probably don't even want to be traded. But if he's trading Kevin Durant, I think he's going to want players. So yeah, it's not like, I don't think he just wants picks. I think because that means he's rebuilding, and he has not shown the capacity to want to do a rebuild. He's going to want players, is what I think. So, I don't know. I mean, again, now if I was him, I would, if I were Phoenix, I would blow it all up. That is a team you blow up. I know you're talking about the Bucks. That's a team you blow up. You blow that team up. But not the Bucks. You blow KD, and I would trade Devin Booker too. I honestly would. I would blow that entire thing up and start over, because I think they've gone as far as they can go. And you put together a team of Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal, and unlike the Bucks, you put that team together, they were healthy and they lost. You put that team together and they were healthy. Would you trade Dame for KD? Oh, let's trade Dame for KD. Straight up. If you want to be honest, I really think it's kind of a while. I think KD's on. I don't say he's on his last legs, but he's. I don't say he's washed, but he's an aging superstar. Again, if he was a true superstar, Phoenix. Let me not say it like that. But if he was what we thought he was, or what he was, you're not letting Phoenix. He would be too good to allow what's happening to Phoenix do. He would be too good to let what's happening to Phoenix happen. Like, if Giannis was in Phoenix, I don't think they'd be in the. I don't think they would not make the play-in. That's what I think. I think Giannis is that good. So that shows me how far ahead I think he is from a KD. Joker, if he was in Phoenix, they're not in the freaking play-in. They're just not. You tell me Joker and Devin Booker wouldn't make the play-in? No, stop it. Giannis and Devin Booker wouldn't make the play-in? Stop it. So I just say, yeah, I think Kevin Durant is not what he once was. And so I don't know. Would I do it? I really don't know. I don't know how many years he has left. I don't know that I would. I don't know that it's a full guarantee that I would do that. I really don't. Big news of the day, of course, is that big news of the day, of course, is what happened in Denver. Talking about Joker. That's just insane news. I wonder how you guys feel about it. Again, my whole thing is, I talked about it at the beginning. Doc Rivers, Adrian Griffin, Mike Malone, Taylor Jenkins. Why are you firing this guy 3 games before the season ends? That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me at all. Now, again, and Skeleton was a joke being a plan, but again, think about it. Jamal Murray's been hurt. Jamal Murray's been out. Phoenix has been playing with their guys. That's the caveat. Jamal Murray's been out. And a lot of you, and as NYC says, bring me Mike Malone. But this is what I'll say. Number one, the grass isn't always green on the other side. The grass is green where you water it. Remember that. Grass is green where you water it. The other piece is we, and when I say we, I mean a collective we, not me, but we as a fan base, we as an organization, we as a front office ran Adrian Griffin out of town. Why? Ultimately because he, quote unquote, lost the locker room. Now, my reporting on that, and again, I tell you, if I have first-hand, second-hand, third-hand, I have first-hand sources in the building that say, now again, I would say he lost Giannis for sure. No doubt about it. He lost Giannis. And when you say that, you can almost say, if you lose Giannis, you lose the best player, you do lose the locker room. Take that for what it's worth. But if you ran, this is my question. I'm not saying you don't do it or what, but if you ran Adrian Griffin out because you said, hey, he lost the locker room, then tell me in what world it makes more sense to bring Mike Malone in, who you know just lost a locker room. I say that also while saying that Bucks fans, when Adrian Griffin got fired, were like, oh, I long for the days of Mike Budenholzer. Remember, I can't believe we fired Mike Budenholzer, who is currently losing his locker room in Phoenix and has underachieved with a team that has, for the most part, been healthy. So I'm just saying it's not always bring back Bud or let's bring in Mike Malone or Taylor Jenkins, who another guy who, again, has been reported, John Morant didn't like what he was doing with the offense. Todd, Todd, you say Malone, that's fine. Again, yes, you're right, Todd. The GM and him had their issues, correct. You're saying the Malone didn't lose the locker room. Then why? I just saw it. He was just in a press conference he was just in a press conference saying a couple things. One, that his team didn't watch film, that they didn't give any effort, and he didn't give it. And go watch. These were his words, not mine. He said nobody watches any film. He said his team wasn't giving any effort, and he said that these are his words, he didn't give a damn what anybody felt about what he was saying. Because he had a bunch of guys who said, and this were his words, he said, as I'm saying this, they're not listening to me. They'll say coach is tripping. Those were his words at a podium press conference after a loss. If you're at a press conference saying that the players that you have aren't watching film, they don't care, they're not giving any effort, and you don't care what they think about what you... Again, that is, to me, saying that publicly, that is a bad sign that you said that publicly. That lets me know your players ain't watching film. And again, the other thing is he doesn't call anybody out personally. I'm not blaming Mike Malone at all. I'm not. I think he's a fine coach. Now, again, what I have a problem with is everybody who, goes back to what we said earlier, probably about an hour ago, where everything is at two extremes. Doc Rivers is the worst coach to ever pick up a clipboard. I don't believe that to be true. Just because I don't believe that to be true does not mean he thinks he's the best coach to ever pick up a clipboard. A lot of stuff somewhere in the middle. So Mike Malone, do I think, and I think a lot of Bucks fans think, he's the best coach. Oh, he's so great. Is he that great, or is he coaching the best player in the world? Is he that great, or was he coaching the best player in the world? You tell me. I think he's a good coach. Do I think he's the best coach? No. Because you know what I'm saying? People told me Nick Nurse is, Nick Nurse. Got that Nick Nurse. The hell Nick Nurse doing? Nick Nurse don't look like he's some world beater. Again, injuries, I know. But all that stuff doesn't impress me. That's all I'm saying. All that stuff doesn't impress me. Kenny Atkinson, gotta have Kenny Atkinson. Looks great right now. I want to see in the playoffs. I want to see what Kenny Atkinson does in the playoffs. That's all. And again, NYC, I'm not saying that Mike Malone's not a good coach. Again, I'm not saying he's not a great coach. I'm saying that people are acting as if, oh, he's the best coach in the world, bring him here, and it's instant success. Which, again, is what people said with when they fired Adrian Griffin. All I heard was, you can bring anybody. They're 30 and 13, 18. You can bring anybody in, and it's better than this. And actually, it's not true. Again, Todd, I'm not denying, yes, there was internal stuff going on between him and the GM, but I believe two things can be true. It sounded like, again, I'm listening to the press conference, when you're talking like that, you didn't have your locker room. Number two, I'll say you this too. And one more thing. You don't think Joker has power? The best player in the world, whether you want to say, I'll just go with Joker being the best player in the world. Joker's the best. If Joker, you think if management went to Joker and said, hey, we're gonna let Mike Malone go today. We're thinking about letting Mike Malone go. If Joker said, hell no. No. Mike Malone, he's been my only coach since I've been in the NBA. No, I'm not going for Mike Malone going. No, he's staying with me. And I don't care about the GM. Don't leave me alone. I want Mike Malone. You don't think they'd have kept Mike Malone? You don't think they kept Mike Malone? I'm not saying Joker went out and went and got him fired, but I'm saying Joker clearly wasn't interested in begging for him to stay. Nothing goes on. You're naive to believe, and I'm not saying you, I'm just saying in general, you're naive to believe, in my opinion, that anything goes on without a superstar of that caliber. Let me say, there are about 5 to 7 guys that get what they want, period. 5 to 7 guys that whatever that you can't do nothing without them. Joker's in that category. Joker's in that 5 to 7 category. Joker's 100% in that 5 to 7 category. So I'm not saying he went and got him fired, but if he wanted him to stay, he would have stayed. So clearly he didn't care. Clearly. I'm not calling Joker a coach killer. I'm just saying he didn't care about that coach very much. That's all. And Justin Mincy, I know. Doc coach. Yeah, I know Justin. I know. Justin Mincy says, I trust Doc to manage egos more than any other coach. If you can coach KG, Paul, Big Baby, you know how to deal with the BS. I agree. I do think Doc is a very good talker. He's a politician, if you will. He really is. He's kind of a politician. Now, again, he's butted heads with some of his players too. But he's a politician. Again, Todd, I don't know. You say Griffin's a mistake? I don't know. I needed to see him in the playoffs. I never saw him. Tish says Joker. I don't know he got Malone. I'm just saying he wasn't pressed. He wasn't pressed to keep him. But I will say again, I think it's a travesty what's going on in Denver. I think it's stupid. Again, even if you didn't want him, you let the season play out. Like, this was worse than people talked about Mike Buno. I said this before. People talk about Mike Buno. Buno's at least got 2 seasons after a championship. Mike Malone got 1 playoff run. He got 1 playoff run after a championship. And wasn't Jamal Murray hurt in that one? So I don't understand that. I don't understand that one. Didn't make sense to me. National championship game last night. I watched it. Congrats to Florida on the dub. I wish Chris King. We gotta talk about this when we get college basketball sucks. It's just a trash product, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's a trash product. It is. That ended game was terrible. Ended game execution was terrible. Reminded me of being in a fight serve with my dad years and years ago. At this point, and watching the Bucks in like 2015, 16, 17, some of those years, and looking at each other late in first quarter, late end of quarter, end of half, end of game possessions and scenarios, and looking at each other and be like, all right, man, I hope we get a shot up. Think we can get a shot up tonight? That's the end of the national championship game was. Like, and being so hurt, disappointed that you didn't get a shot up. That's what it looked like, and they couldn't even get a shot up at the end of the game. I thought again it was a close game, exciting, but it ended up there's just poor execution down the stretch. So I mean, it again, close game. That's all I can ask for, but it ended up being kind of a bummer down the stretch because the execution wasn't good. And again, I'm an equal opportunity hater. I know people like to say, again, and I don't watch a ton of WNBA. But, people say, listen, I say this because I've said it before sometimes about WNBA. I don't necessarily like the product sometimes. Same thing about college basketball. That's what I'm saying. It's not a male-female thing. College basketball, the product isn't great to me at times. We see people saying that they're having a crash out in Minnesota. I bet they are. Because let me tell you this, if the shoe was on the other foot and we lost a 24-point lead in the fourth quarter, oh my God. Y'all would have wanted to fire Doc tonight. Tonight. There's no question about it. NYC Nuggets made a very dumb decision. It's like Miami, the Warriors firing their coach. Listen, I would tell you, NYC, there are a lot of Miami Heat fans who are kind of over Spo. They just are. They just are. I think he's lost his marbles. They think that Pat Riley 100% has lost his marbles. So I think a lot of people, again, I think, Mike Malone's there for 10 years. I do think I will say this. And again, I think he's a very good coach, and I definitely wouldn't have fired him this year. But until all hell would have broken out. I definitely would have fired him this year, but I would have I definitely wouldn't have fired him this year. I forgot where I was going with that. I wouldn't have put like this. I wouldn't have fired. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have fired him this year. But 10 years is a long time for a head coach. Like people, like your message can run thin in 10 years. It just can. It can. Okay, so I do have to do one thing. I do have to go to Twitter because especially solo, I've forgotten to get to the Twitter and see what Twitter said. There was a lot of comments today. So let me find what we have here. Let's see. All right, let's see what we have on Twitter. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Got it up. At Natalie Dory says, who knew running a lineup of shooters and dogs next to Giannis would yield results? At GA_hoop says, Trey, I think it's time for you to come around and realize how terrible Kuzma it really is. How many times has he not finished games? It seems like 99% of Bucks fans have understood this. You got to realize it at some point. Interesting comment there. Realize how terrible Kuzma really is. Again, it goes back to the same thing of like these trigger words, terrible. No, I don't. Terrible is. I don't think that's what it is. Again, number one, I think he's playing out of position, and the other thing is, I don't think you guys understood my actual point or what my position was on the trade in the beginning. My position was never. Again, you never heard me come on this show or tweet anything that was like, "Oh my God, I hope we get Kyle Kuzma." Oh man, Kyle Kuzma's gonna say. I think again but that's what happens with narratives. You take one thing, just like the whole. I know NYC takes lose. You can't think Doc is good. I never said Doc is some great coach. What I said is he's not the worst person to pick up a clipboard. Same thing. Funny thing is, this is the exact same thing that people accuse me of with Jason Kidd. I never said Jason Kidd was some great, oh my God, Hall of Fame head coach because he's the best. I said, yeah, he's just not the worst. He's okay. Kyle Kuzma is just, I think people, again, he's an easy target to go at. And just like Doc Rivers, I think they're very easy targets to say this person sucks, worst player ever. I don't think it's that. I think he needs to be used more effectively, and I think you need to utilize the strengths that he has. But again, when you say, I don't think you come to realize how terrible Kuzma, he just had a game the other night where he shot 60% from the field. Him not finishing game, I never came here and said, oh, he's going to be Chris Middleton. He's going to be our go-to guy in the clutch. No, I just said we need bodies. We need guys to play minutes. Kuzma's a guy that can play minutes. So finishing the game doesn't matter to me. I just talked the other day about Brook Lopez and Ty. We were trying to convince ourselves as to whether Brook Lopez should stay on the Bucks for next year. It may be a reduced role. And I'm not the biggest Brook Lopez fan. But again, I think if Brook Lopez got a role and play him. If not, don't. But you got to have somebody that can play. And again, this narrative to me that guys not playing is better than guys playing is just nonsense. Again, you can put whatever metric you want. That's stupid to me. MK Bucks 11 says KPJ makes Giannis feel young again. At Jules ESQ says KPJ is him. Bucks need to bring Kuz off the bench so we have 3 to 4 shooters next to Giannis at all times. BP coming back makes the big rotation flexible depending on need. AJ Green and GTJ should average a combined 16 3-point attempts every game with a dominant force inside like Giannis. At the Wisconsin says Brook and Kuz got benched and we came back. Kuz and Prince can't start together anymore. At Cooley_Rock says the Bucks basically went with Lopez, Kuzma, and Prince on the bench. At AZip70 says it's no coincidence that this remarkable comeback happened with Kuz, Prince, and Brook on the bench. KPJ is an absolute beast on both ends and needs heavy playoff minutes. Again, the theme: Kuz, Prince, and Brook on the bench. And again, that's more along the lines of what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. And at least the comments are doling it out here. It's not just it's not just a Kyle Kuzma thing. It's Kuz. No. To me, the biggest of the three, it was Brook on the bench. That was the biggest part of it. But yes, Kuzma, Prince, and Brook Lopez were on the bench. And I have no problem. That's, again, if I was really like this big Kuzma stand, I'd be waving up. You got to play Kuz. I'm not doing. I don't care. I don't care if Kuzma's not here next year. Again, narratives. You can't make up your own narratives. Go with the things that we talked about, not like some made up. I don't know. Blau25 says Kuzma needs 15 minutes per game tops. That Bobby is back. Give those minutes to Gary Trent, Bobby, and AJ Green. At Sack Webb says, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not no foreseer, but this was sure. But I was so sure of the comeback after AJ Green's deep three. At N20 Rep says Kuzma is ass. Sunk 3 for 5 says did not watch like 3 minutes of the fourth after they were down 20, but I'm guessing that run came when Brook got off the floor, right? Yeah, that is correct. I'll do a couple more here. At Eagle Rugby 58 says 3 letters, KPJ, enough said. At Use James says, what a comeback. Holy. At J Phil in Texas says, if KPJ and Trent don't start, that's the type of BS that should get you fired. Ownership got to get involved and tell Doc to make it happen. At Anime 21 says, what a ride. And one more here. Filipino Freak says, Lisa and Novak failed to encapsulate the comeback. I thought they were decent tonight. I will say that. I thought Lisa was okay. I was there. Justin says Wisconsin kid turned the game off. F out of here. NYC says Kuzma's got to be better. He got to go up strong. That's really what gets me upset about him. Yeah, I agree with that. Tish says how was 4 of our starters benched though? That's a problem if we're being real. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. Justice got to go with the hot hand. But yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't disagree with that. That is an issue. And again, I think it's not necessarily that one of them can't start, but that combo of again, we talked about Trent's playing out of position. To me, that's the biggest piece. Trent's playing out of position. Brook is old and slow. Kuzma has the IQ of probably yeah. His IQ is lacking. So I think those three got to figure out what to do and how you want to do it. Good game from the Bucks tonight, everybody. 110-103 Bucks get the win. This was fun. Solo Guru in here. Let me see. One more time. It says, you all need to get over the Chris love. Respect his past accomplishments, but Kuzma more valuable at a much less cost than Chris. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Again, and I think people, Todd, to your point, people think when you hear more valuable that whatever, for some reason, they think that means this is great. No, it just means a person that can move is more valuable than a person that can't move. This debate is stupid. This is like saying that somebody who's able-bodied and able to feed themselves and bathe is less, just because they may make some mistakes in doing it, is more of a burden than someone who is bedridden and has dementia. That's not like that's what you're trying to convince me, is that the paraplegic is somehow a better option. And if you need somebody to actually move, the paraplegic is a better option than the able-bodied person. That's what you're trying to convince yourself of. And I don't know if you're trying to be funny, if you're trying to be cute, if you're trying to be smart, if you think it's a joke. But if you're saying that as you lose credibility to me talking basketball. Nobody's saying Kuzma's great, but yes, being able to move is better than not being able to move. I think that's a simple fact. You have to be able to move. 6'10" and moving is better than 6'7" and shuffling. Sorry. And again, if you want to look at Chris Middleton, and it's not even, but if you want to look at his numbers weren't great after he got traded. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. Like, and that's not this big deal. Like, that's what we should get on. It's not this big, like, it's disrespectful. No, it's not. It's the truth. It's the truth. Anyway. uh Again, that's all. Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Like, what are we doing? 110-103. Bucks beat the Timberwolves tonight. In the comeback win, comeback factor fashion. It was insane, man. It was epic. If you turned it off, if you weren't watching it, you need to go back and check the highlights. However you got to do it. But that was a fun game, man. That was a fun game. I know I woke up some people in the house during the game. I probably woke up some people in the house on the post game, but it is what it is. As we share this victory with you guys, I want to appreciate it. It could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with me tonight, Solo Guru. I do apologize for the technical difficulties. We started the show a little late. Weren't able to get Justin on. Weren't able to get Chris on. I wish my guys could have done it. I don't know. We're still working through some technical difficulties at times, but at least I was here to talk us through this one tonight. As the Bucks do get a 110-103 victory, it was fun. As always, I'm probably a little hoarse, going to lose my voice trying to do this about myself. So hopefully next game we can get these technical difficulties worked out and everybody's here. Again, you could have been anywhere. You were here with me. You were watching this game. You were having fun. I enjoyed it. And yeah, Ios says Kuzma's feeding creative. Hey, that's what it is. That's what you're not wrong. Yes. There's troll Twitter. There's troll there's troll content, and there's actual basketball content. And again, the troll stuff it's fun if you want to play, if you like that. And I'm not calling anybody in particular. If you like trolling, cool. If you like to talk basketball and talk about things in a reasonable way without all again, that's just one last thing for you. Like, what's more reasonable? And I'm just saying, what's more reasonable? Everybody sucks, or let's evaluate what people do good, what people do bad, and where they are. That's all. Like, I'm trolling. When I talk about Rudy Gobert being a Rudy Poo biatch, I'm trolling. I try not to do that a lot, but every now and then I'll go there. I just can't make my entire identity off of it. That's all. Todd, I did see John Morant with the grenades. Again, he can't get right, man. He can't get right. He can't get right because, and I wonder what Adam Silver does. Like, to me, and last I said, I know I keep going on 10. That is defiance. That is like that is a you're not going to stop me. You're not going to silence me. You say I can't do the guns. I can't do the guns. I can't. I bet grenade. Here we go. Ban that. You try Adam Silver, and Adam Silver's got to stand up, man. Get some backbone. You need to call him into the league office. Is what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Call him into the league office. You got to have a discussion, mano a mano, because if David Stern was alive, that's what would happen. But again, I want to thank everybody. Want to thank the guys. Want to thank the Bucks tonight for a win. Bobby Porter's getting back into it. Again, if you were listening, please hit the like button, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. So please subscribe to the Cream City Crossover. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend about the Cream City Crossover. We're here with you all the time after every single Milwaukee Bucks game, win, lose, or draw. It's the best post-game show in all of the land for the Milwaukee Bucks, the Cream City Crossover. We have fun with you guys. Again, we read your comments. We talk to you. You guys talk to us, and we just have a good old time every single time right here. I like the Selly, but you can't do it. Todd saying that's why Jenkins is fired. You gotta control your locker room, and it's tough. But again, I'd say it is tough to control 20-some-year-old guys that have hundreds of millions of dollars. It's very hard to do it. Very hard to do it. It's just like when people go, oh, the energy and effort is low. It's very hard for Doc. It's not just Doc. This is any coach. You can't make nobody give you no effort. It makes $100-some million, $200 million. The $200 million, they have a $200 million contract. Can't make anybody do it. I want to thank our sponsor tonight, Curls Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Head on out there to Curls Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill all the time, Wednesdays, Thursdays especially, and especially after or during Milwaukee Bucks televised game. They always have some good stuff out there for you. Good wings, good food, good eats. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar, sponsor of the Cream City Crossover. We'll get back at it next time. I think they got the Pelicans coming up, so we'll be back for that one. And we head into the playoffs. Good stuff, everybody. Appreciate all the comments. Appreciate all the love. Appreciate the super chats as well. Solo Guru signing out. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru Trey Crosby III. Everybody else, again, man, we appreciate it. Don't take no wooden nickels. Oh, if I am your enemy, it's only because I dare to tell you the truth. Don't take no wooden nickels. Courage.